quick little preface to part 2 here. Part 1's been out for 2 days. It's been live since Saturday. Today's Monday. We got the tower mostly done yesterday, but I gotta go tie up some shit today. I have to go aim some radios and some antennas and, get stuff dialed in a little bit today, so I'm heading to the data center. On my way there, I thought I'd make a little preface for this video because the comments and stuff about part 1 have been crazy. I have gotten no less than a dozen comments about this, that, or the other thing that's wrong with the way we did things. I need to make some stuff clear. The number one thing I need to make crystal clear in all my videos is I am not a teacher. Do not do things the way I do things. I am learning still. I don't know shit about the WISP industry, the WISP world, the WISP stuff. All I know is what I've done so far. If you do shit the way I do shit and shit gets fucked up, that's on you, not me. I am not a teacher. I am not liable for your screw-ups. That is the number one thing. The second thing is the tower's not done. Especially after video 1. No, we didn't leave the thing weeble-wobbling in the desert. It is a self-supporting tower, but to have it self-supporting, you have to put that bottom piece that's mounted to the plate in concrete. You got to put it in the ground. We didn't do that. We guide it. We put wires on it. You'll see that in this video. We didn't leave the thing just flopping in the breeze. That would have been bad. It had some flex to it when we left, but it was only up for a few hours before we were back to finish it up to where we got it now. Regarding that, if you look at the documentation for the self-supporting and the guide Roan 25G towers, they're almost identical. They even show the exact mounting plate that I used in both of the towers. For a freestanding tower, you're not supposed to do what we did. That's why it's not a freestanding tower. Another thing, I'm not installing this thing. Herb is installing this thing. Herb's been doing this shit for about as long as I've been alive. I'd like to think he knows what the hell he's doing by now. I would never attempt something like this on my own because, as previously mentioned, I have no idea how this shit works. All the antennas and towers and radios and all that's totally new to me. Networking, computer stuff, good to go. I can do that shit all day, no problem. All this other WISP shit, freaking new to me. So when I say I'm installing a tower, I'm paying someone to install a tower and helping a little and making videos about it. I'm not installing shit. All I'm doing is breaking Herb's hammer. I kind of broke it. So keep that in mind when you watch any of my videos. I am not the all-knowing authority on this shit. No one is. If anyone tells you otherwise, they're lying. Yes, there are a lot of really knowledgeable people in the world when it comes to this shit, but nobody knows everything. Nobody is 100% right. I've said it 1,000 times, there's a million ways to do any piece of this. I could have gone and done the self-supporting tower with this and buried it in the ground and done it all like that, but I didn't want to do it that way because I didn't want to tear up the concrete slab that's there. It was a really nice, really thick, good quality concrete slab that was already there. That's why we bolted into it. And we bolted into it with giant bolts and anchors. It's not just some screws into the concrete. And there's like 5 of them or something. The bitch ain't going anywhere. Anyway, on to the video. Questions, comments, and everything, of course, are always welcome. I really quite like to take advantage of the hive mind, as it may be. Yeah, you get a lot of dumbass people making dumbass comments and shit, but there are some smart people out there, as previously mentioned, who are right about certain things sometimes, for sure. And I read every damn comment I get everywhere. It's exhausting. It's a lot of freaking comments, but I read them all. I don't reply to all of them. Hell, I don't reply to most of them. But I read every single comment on every single YouTube video, every Facebook post, every message I get, everything in the Discord. I read everything. The Discord, not quite so much because there's conversations that go on in there that I'm not even a part of sometimes, but I read everything I possibly can. And I do take what I can from said comments. There is some good info to be had, but yeah, you guys also can't freak out about shit that's not needing to be freaked out about. I didn't leave the thing freestanding. It is guyed. It is grounded. It's not going anywhere. And it's not done. So someone mentioned something about different bolts being in there. We just didn't have the bolts we needed. We got them now. They're getting switched out. We're actually going back Friday or this weekend rather, because I have a bracket for the guy wires at the top. It gets here Friday. It's going to go on the tower Saturday or Sunday. Then we're going to finish up tying up everything. Like I even say in one part of this video, all the wires are just like on the ground in a rat's nest. And I don't care because, my God, I felt like a damn boiled lobster yesterday. I was pretty toasty. It was just a temporary stopping point. It's not done, including those bolts. So yeah, I appreciate the concern. It's being addressed. All is right with the world. Tower ain't gonna fall. Even if it did, it's in the middle of a field. The only thing it could possibly hit is a fence that's stronger than the tower. So, I mean, even if it did fall, it would suck, but it wouldn't hurt anything. So, everything's fine. Relax. But here's part 2, and I'll probably do a part 3, wrapping everything up, showing you everything as it's completed and done and everything, and answering any other questions and comments I get to this video. So, without further ado, yeah. Well, what's going on? Back out here again, doing tower things. See, tower. Well, it likes to follow my face. You can kind of see it. But we got all the guy wires. Those are going to mount to are these giant freaking things. Like, my God, 1/2-inch rebar, like 6.5 feet tall. Like, these things are never coming out of the ground, ever. Yeah, that'll work. And what I pray to all that is holy is that the pneumatic thing to drive these things will work. Because if not, yeah. It's going to be a really long, miserable day. And this is the thing that takes the air and turns it into actual poundy chooch to knock the shit into the ground. Otherwise, you have to use a sledgehammer and we would be here for like a week. Yeah, it would be very miserable. As Herb said, I told him, I said, so this would probably fall under the not necessary equipment category. He's like, yeah, but if you're doing this regularly, you need it. Nothing else at all. How the hell are you supposed to drive something that's taller than you with a sledgehammer?
Ladder.
Oh, swinging a sledgehammer on a ladder. Oh, yeah, that sounds like a grand old time, Herb. Big Billy Bass here isn't doing quite what it's supposed to be doing, so not putting out enough oomph to make the thing chooch like it should. So he's busting out the spare compressor. See if we can get the damn thing to work right. Please work right. Please. I beg you. This is seriously the quietest air compressor I've ever heard. It says ultra quiet on it, and man, is it not kidding. That thing is like, it's running right now. It sounds like a refrigerator.
Yeah.
Hell, I think my dishwasher is louder than this thing. That's unreal. Wow. Ultra quiet, 61 decibels is what it says. That sounds about right. That's amazing. We're going to plan B2-ish. Yeah. I was going to say B.2, which is, yeah, it's about what that is. What I was wondering is, this thing, it's kind of threaded.
Rebar, threaded
I was thinking,
rebar.
yeah, maybe you could, well, you're going to need a ladder for sure. But maybe we can just screw the thing in. He said he hasn't used this thing in quite a while, so it's kind of gotten dirty and dusty, and it's not quite doing what it's supposed to be doing. And at the rate we're going with that, we're going to be here for a week and a half. So time to move on to plan B. Point 2. Oh, there we go. Lowe's bucket for the win.
There you go.
Ooh. You might need a little more height, my friend. Definitely makes plenty of noise.
Yeah.
No ladder? No problem. when you got a bucket, because if you can't bucket, bucket. I just wanted to say that. So before he moves the lift, the bucket, we're gonna do the, or well, he is. I'm not really doing anything. He's gonna do the temporary guide wires, get those fucking attached, because once he gets them attached and ran, he won't be able to really move the truck and bucket and all that stuff as easily as he can now. So he's already set up for it, gonna bang that out. We got kind of preoccupied with the damn rebar things. Like, geez, those things, whew, those are a bitch. But he's gonna connect these up real quick. They're just basically giant cables. And there's 3 of them. One go that way, one go that way. I've shown you that shit before. You can actually make these towers pretty stable if you put wires on them. We had, it was called the OE. I'll put a picture of it over here. But in the Marine Corps, the radio guys use these. It was basically just a pole. And the pole was super flimsy. Like, this thing would weeble wobble all over the damn place. But as soon as you attach the guy wires, it was actually pretty damn strong. It would withstand some wind. The tower itself may be relatively sturdy, but once you put wires on it, once you guy it, and yes, it is guy, not guide. Once you guy it, it actually gets way, way more strong. More strong? Stronger? Whatever, you know what I mean. But yeah, he's gonna get those bad boys mounted. I bought a, like, actual mounting bracket kind of thing for him, but I ordered it late. I didn't know he needed it. And it'll be here Friday. But for now, he's just gonna attach it to the tower itself instead of the bracket. It'll work just fine. Just don't want the damn thing to fall, obviously. These damn things, though, ooh, the ground here is so compacted and so hard. I mean, it's not like, you know, Colorado Rockies, basically just straight up rock hard, but it's really, really hard. So getting these in the dirt, I really don't think it'd be possible with a sledgehammer. He said it is. I don't know. Even like a stake pounder, that would be, I mean, I guess it'd work eventually, but you're going like a fraction of an inch at a time, and you got 6.5 feet times 3. So yeah, gonna get this done, then we gotta move the bucket. Word. This is the wire. It's like just steel braided cable. This is 7 by 15, if I remember correctly. It's 7 strands of 15 strands, all braided together. Pretty strong stuff. Drop one of those packages down here for me. Thank you. Sorry, 7 by 19. So that's how the cables are made. Pretty strong stuff. Each one's 1,400 pounds. That should do the trick. If it breaks those, I think we have bigger problems on our hands. You ran over my trash box, Herb. So, got the wires all strung up and ready to roll. They're up there already. So he's going to move the bucket over a little so he can use the bucket to get on top of the stake. On top of the pole, the rebar, the whatever the hell you want to call it. He took all his ladders and stuff out of the truck to put the compressor and stuff in there, and kind of need a ladder now, but don't matter when you got a bucket. Bosch hammer. I think I saw them open for Rammstein once. There it goes. It's not particularly fast, but it's working. That's all that matters.
7 hours later.
He made a couple wooden pieces. He's going to try to make a plug to use this thing, because it doesn't quite fit the piece of rebar. Other thing was working, but it's not easy and it ain't fast, so I'm gonna see if we can get this to chooch. Oh, that's how it's supposed to go. But is it actually doing anything? That's a lot easier though. Holding that damn thing had to be rough. Much easier. How about that, huh?
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to work. I was even saying, I was thinking that would work a bit differently. Well, it does. We managed to get this bitch about 3.5, 4 feet down, and it hit a rock and is not going any further. We let the bitch pound away for 5 minutes and it ain't doing nothing. So what we're gonna do, because I am more than confident that this bitch is never coming out ever, it's at least 3, 4 feet in there, is we're gonna cut it off and weld another one of these on down there. So that means I gotta run back to the Homeless Despot and get some more black pipe 1-inch to 1/2 inch things. So away we go. One inch to 1/2, and they only have one. Oh, fantastic. Aha. There we go. Have to pull them out of the back. Got these, and that should do the trick. Had a bit of a debacle on the way back from frickin' Home Depot because the electric car ran out of juice. Pushing it a little further than I expected, I guess. So I had to go home and swap cars, and by the time I got back, it really wasn't even that long, really. Herb has one done already. So we gotta cut that one off and weld it, no big deal. That one's done and ready to roll. And the one over there is just about done also, it looks like. Is that one good, or I can't see behind the bush?
No, it's still got another foot to go.
Oh, okay.
But I drove it in as far as I could with the pneumatic.
Yeah. That one's got about a foot, so not too bad.
Yeah.
Herb's a fucking beast. Leave you alone for 2 minutes and you get everything done.
Short-handled 10-pound hammer.
The hammer of Thor.
There you go.
I kind of broke it. Oops. Yeah, so instead of cutting this one, we just decided to bend it over. It'll work perfectly fine that way. He measured, there's about a little over 3 feet into the ground, so bitch definitely isn't going anywhere. That one looks like it got in like almost all the way. I think there's only a few inches sticking out, so that's amazing. And the one over there, we're going to leave that one. I kind of broke the hammering it, so big hammer's out of the fight. We're just going to leave that bad boy as it is, because it's, I mean, even that one's 5.5 feet into the ground. There's only about a foot, maybe 1.5 feet sticking out, so that isn't going anywhere either. Definitely not. So I think we're good. If all else fails, we can still come out and cut it and re-weld this on there. Not really a big of a deal. Time to run some cables. Some turnbuckle goodness. Obviously, put the wire through there, clamp it off so it can't go anywhere. Turn this to tighten it. Bob's your auntie. These are the clamps, and then this kind of keeps it from just riding on the bare little bolt. But there's 3 per, so you do 1, 2, 3, pinching it down, holding it to the turnbuckle so it don't go nowhere, which is good because we don't want it to go anywhere. Grab that one. We're going this way. Just like that. Now I need to set the camera somewhere. Isn't gonna work. Pull it up. Not like that. Put the little U. Hope you guys can see this. Like that. Just like that.
tighten it enough so that it doesn't slip. Like that. And there you go. Oh shit, yeah. I don't know why. I didn't even look at it. I thought you did it already. And yeah,
No problem.
you got to take the turnbuckle thing all the way out or you won't be able to crank it down. So he's just got to loosen it and then, you know.
Snug up the wire a little bit and then
Yeah,
you can
pull,
make the
pull,
turnbuckle pull tension.
yeah, pull a little more wire through it. Yeah, I didn't even look. Oops. That's why we pay you the big bucks, Herb.
There you go.
Remember how I was saying earlier that the guy wires really do a whole lot? Like, watch. Give it a shove. Bitch doesn't move, and there's not even any tension on the guy wires yet. That's
what they're supposed to do.
yeah. Like, they're not even tight yet. Yesterday when we left, you could push it and it would move. It's supposed to have a bit of flex built into it. That's by design, because when you don't, things break.
During construction, we see the steel girders, 8 feet tall, which were supposed to stiffen the bridge against bending. On November 7th, the bridge suddenly went into a twisting motion.
But just putting the wires on it made that much of a difference. That's crazy. I'm surprised. Cinch them down little by little. And as they get tighter and tighter, it puts more and more force against each other. Not really on the tower, which pulls the tower in opposite directions, keeping the thing pointed straight up.
You can see the sag in the wire.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that tells you that there's no real tension on the wire other than the wire's own weight.
Yeah, it's just the weight of the wire itself pulling down that's pulling this way on the tower. Well, and that way and that way. And that's why, like, you can go up and shove the thing, which would make it weeble wobble all over the place yesterday. Today it doesn't move. Just from the tension, from the weight of the wires themselves. We haven't even done the turnbuckles yet. He's just cranking down the last little bit of torque on these, taking up a little bit more slack, you know, tighten them the rest of the way. Then we put one more, and then we tighten that, and this bitch isn't going anywhere. Speaking of why this bitch doesn't fall down, someone on Facebook yesterday said it looks like the erector set from Sandlot, which it kind of does. It's definitely nothing, you know, super thick or super strong or anything, but when you do all these triangle reinforcements like this, that's where the strength comes from. Like, you could climb this thing. It ain't going anywhere. It's actually a little bit stronger than it looks, but it does look pretty janky. Erector set from Sandlot. It's priceless. So he's done putting the last bit of tension on the first U-bolt thingamajiggy on the other two. I'm going to put the other two on this one. I wonder how far apart they should be. How far apart should they be? 4 inches-ish?
Yeah, 3 to 4 inches.
Okay.
Just make sure the threaded ends
Yeah.
goes towards the loose wire.
Oh, okay. He said make sure the...
base clamp, the galvanized base
Yeah.
is over the plates into the loose end.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he said just make sure that the threaded bit is up towards the loose wire, like that. So as long as I keep putting them in just like that one is, we'll be good to go. One, two, three. Sweet. Well, got everything tight. Well, as tight as it has to be. They don't really have to be all that tight. I mean, you guys saw how little it moved without any tension on them at all. Just the weight of the cables. So just a little bit of tension on each one and that bitch is solid. Now comes the fun part. Moving radios. Yay, fun. So this is the little box that I bought to put the switch and the power injector in. Just a little box with like rubber end caps you can punch the middle out of. Nothing super fancy. Seems like it'll work fine, even though you have to take screws out to get the damn lid off. That's kind of a bit much, but whatever. Got a gasket. That's good. It's time to take some radios down. Of course, I didn't use any anti-seize because, you know, that's what we do. Got to find the right thing. And then the 3 sector radios are over there. Yeah. As long as we can get these bolts off, should be all right. Got one. All right, quarter of the way there. Leave that plugged in until you're done. Might as well.
Okay.
No? We can unplug it. Got 2. Halfway there. Internet is down at 11:37. So should be able to definitely get it off if nothing else. Look at that, 3/4 of them. Don't need no stinking anti-seize. Famous last words. That one's gonna be on there like freaking welding, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. I love the Ultra Horn. That thing's so good. Nice little carry handle and everything. Look at that. Just that, I mean, you don't get any better than that, really. Now the ones over here, these, and then 2 on here. This is just a hose clamp. Yeah, actually we can kind of leave this all plugged in, really. Just unplug it from the switch and then move the whole thing. Well, kind of. I know you like my Tupperware. I know you like my Tupperware. Tonics unhooked and ready to roll. This is the power cable that it used. And yeah, that thing's hot. Still working though. This is the right way to do it. You use anti-seize. Just don't touch this stuff or it'll end up on like
Everything.
your arms, your legs, your shirt, your cat, you're just freaking everywhere. While he's doing that, I'm gonna go put the switch in the box once he goes up because he's kind of in the way. But yeah, all this goes in there. This is gonna go here. I gotta punch some holes in some rubber. I don't know how to film this. I'll show you the final result. First step is like that. And this will be up here. So the cable will run behind it into the box. Look at that sexy ass horn. And then all the sectors are going up now. And I got some cable, so I can make the cable for this. And coming along. All right, so got that all wired up and in the box. And then you have people trying to pull their ATV out of the damn ditch. I ran home to get water and some damn sunscreen. And look at this shit. What the fuck? Their freaking ATV is in the canal. That's all she wrote. Got everything hooked up and plumbed and wired in here.
Screwdriver, I'll put the lid on it.
Yep. Thank you, sir. It's kind of a rat's nest down here, but we got to come next week and make everything pretty and switch some stuff around anyway, so no big deal. Dial the antenna in because the connection kind of sucks. But it does work and everyone's hooked back up and connected, except for the relay house, but I'll fill you in on that when I get home. I'm going home. Stand by.
Tomorrow for sure.
All right, so at the data center, I tried tweaking some stuff. I had some stuff in here I wanted to give a shot. I tried moving the bandwidth down to 40 because you can see there's a bit of noise here that's really bad. That's actually my sectors, I believe. But 40 fits in here perfect. 50, not so much. So if I move it to 40 and I move it up here, it actually fits really well, but speeds actually get worse. So I reverted those changes. I didn't keep them. As you can see, the signal isn't really that awful for the remote device. Keep in mind, this is the radio here. So over here, the local device, this garbage ass signal is the one on the roof here. That's why I want to try to re-aim it a little better, see if I can get it, I mean, at least somewhat better than it is, because that's garbage. And hopefully I can get them steady, consistent. Like this one, as you can see, it's bouncing around all over the damn place. 54 down to 66 or something, and then back up to 58, 59, all over the place. I know my Fresnel shot isn't great. I know the path is blocked. I wouldn't think that would cause it to be unreliable. I wouldn't think that'd make it bounce around. It may, I don't know. I would think that would more be just straight out degradation or won't connect at all kind of thing, but I don't know. It may be causing this. I do plan to make the tower a little bit taller down the line. Kind of ran out of funding at the moment, so I'll add another 20 feet to it. You can actually buy them in 10-foot sections, so no problem. I'll do that down the line, but right now it is kind of what it is. I just hope we can get it dialed in a little bit better aim-wise, because this is hot garbage. Like 80 megs. This one drops down to 40 sometimes. Ugh, that is really, really terrible. And at night, like last night, I noticed we were hitting the cap. I noticed stuff buffering and acting kind of weird, so definitely needs to be fixed. It's not in its final state. We're still working on everything, but you know, a little here, a little there. Baby steps onto the roof. Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Highly recommend it. It's good shit. I am on the roof to try to aim this radio, this antenna, a little bit better, because it's actually looking like the reception could be pretty good if this side's aimed better. Looking at the radio on that side, it'll bounce up to like -56. It's actually pretty damn good. Hell of a lot better than it was. But then it goes back down to like 60 something garbage, and it's all over the place. This one is just straight garbage. So I hope if I can get this one aimed a little bit better, they'll both work a little bit better and be all right. But I don't know. Time to find out. I'm going to be doing this with my phone, because you can use the UNMS app and the radio, the little management radio built into the radio itself to see what's going on with aiming and everything else. It's generally kind of a good idea to have two people doing this, but I'm by my lonesome today, so make that shit happen, right? Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find a way to turn on the management radio without rebooting this thing. The only way to turn on the management radio is to power cycle it, and that sucks, but gotta do what you gotta do. So while that's coming back up, I'm sure I just pissed off somebody. It's like Monday morning. Well, that's how it goes, I guess. I gotta make the damn connection better. It's pretty garbage right now. The video and stuff last night from streaming stuff was all buffering and shitty. It was pretty awful. But you open up the UNMS app, like that, and punch in your credentials, and away you go. Connecting to the device, logging in. See, and it even shows good on here. 65 dBm, 64. Somewhere around there. It's not awful, but it's not good. I don't know why it says good. Looks like that's about as good as it's gonna get. It's bouncing between 64, 65, and up to 62. It's kind of bouncing around in there. And like I said in the other video, I know it's not gonna be perfect, because it's not. I know the Fresnel zone is blocked a bit. I'm just hoping for better, just a little bit better, and I'd be happy. And I think it's got it in it. I need to get somebody on both sides and move stuff around. I was hoping I could tweak it a little and get it a little bit better, but ain't looking like that's gonna be the case right now, which sucks, because the connection is not very good. Speeds kind of suck right now, but The wrap up of the tower is next weekend. No, it's not done yet. It's just kind of at a stopping point. We're gonna clean up, do some final tweaks on the tower, get the antennas all aimed and dialed in and everything. So I'll have somebody over there and I'll come over here, get them dialed in a little bit better. I was trying to, you know, do a quick and dirty fix right now, and no worky. So, you know, it happens, but worth a shot. Let's see where it is now. 64. That's where it was. It says it got up to 62, but I don't know when. I never saw that. Yeah, but the remote's 57. Like the other end? 54, 56. So that one's aimed here pretty well, or something. 58. I'm not real sure how one side could be so much better than the other. Maybe I'll raise this side up next weekend. Make this another 5 feet or so higher. It's as close as I can get to the edge. I get people all the time like, you should move it closer to the edge. I don't want it to be easily visible from like the parking lot down there. That's why it's back a bit. You can still see it coming down the road if you're looking for it, but you can't see it from this way. You can't see it anywhere over there unless you're in one of those hotel rooms over there. The only way you could see it is coming down this road, looking between the trees. If you're looking for it, you can see it, but I can't have it visible from the parking lot. So that's why it's here. I can't move it any closer. But I might be able to go a little bit higher. So I'll look into that. Maybe I'll do that next weekend as well. Because see, it's still at negative 56. So the other end is pretty good-ish. This side, though, not so much. All that being said, this may not be here for longer than a couple more months. So stay tuned for that. This may be going the way of the dodo bird anyway. Well, if the dodo bird went on vacation and moved somewhere else. But yeah, it works. It'll have to work for the week. For now, that's all I got. Be sure to stay tuned for the part 3 like wrap up video, the final wrap up. I'll show everybody all the stuff, all the stuff done on the tower, all the stuff done here. I'll probably even bring you guys along for some of the fun next weekend. I'll include that in part 3 as well. But part 3 is going to be the end of the tower video series for now. So hey, thanks for watching. Like, share, sub, leave me nasty comments on Facebook, all that good stuff. Bye-bye.